I don't know about you, but I always have either tuna or salmon tins of in the cupboard and wonder what the hell am I going to do with them. Well, today's recipe is going to sort that out for you because it's tubular spaghetti with the tinned salmon, capers, cream cheese, chili, lemon, onion and rocket. Let's go! First part to this recipe is a small onion, chopping up, so dicing it. I would usually use the grace machine for this. In fact, why am I not using the grace machine? Hang on a second. Haha! What's the grace machine? You may well ask. Well, it's very well worn. It's a cheap, shitty little thing from Kmart. Watch this. As long as you don't get the bits stuck on the onions, you're set. Yeah. All right. Voila! I freaking love that. It's all done. Don't have to think. There we go. So now we are just going to heat up our pan over here. We're going to get some olive oil, pop it in. A little bit of butter, about that much, maybe 12, 15 grams. I'm going to pop these onions in the pan and get those going. Bit of salt on the onions. Not too much, I've got a lot of salt happening in this recipe. Tubular spaghetti. Why is it called tubular, Sam?
Because it's like a tube.
Right, it's like a straw. So what happens is when you suck up the sauce, it not only goes on the outside of the pasta, it also goes on the inside. How good's that? So here, just stir that around. You do not want that too hot. I'm just gonna get my pasta in the pot, all right? We don't need any more than that. Half of it goes in. I mean, I'm only using half because I'm just doing enough for two. If you were feeding anyone, like 3 or 4 people, you'd use the whole packet. Let's get our onions moving around. See how fine that grace machine makes the onion? Next, I'm gonna put in some chili. Now, for the faint-hearted, you can take the seeds out. For the rest of us, who are gutsy and robust, leave the seeds in. And in the scheme of things, it's not that much. Look at that. It's not one of those tiny little chilies, those really hot ones. It's just a nice size. So they're a little bit sweeter. They're not so hot. That is cooking nicely. Oh, this always smells so good. I'm going to squeeze a little bit of garlic into it. My trusty IKEA garlic press, the best press of all time. Don't let my sister hear that, she'll get upset. She bought me this really expensive whiz-bang garlic press and I broke it because I just put too many cloves of garlic in it at once, I think, like about 7. I don't think you're supposed to do that. Okay, see this? How all of it is getting all soft and squishy. Just giving more of that pasta a bit more of a turn. Okay, because I can and because I want to, I'm going to add some capers. I'm not going to throw them in whole. I'm just going to cut them up a little bit. Release their little salty flavour. Because we're using Philly cheese, you're going to get quite a fatty sort of flavour to the sauce, like a creamy, cheesy flavour. So you want something to offset that. So we've got capers for salt and lemon for acid. Okay? They work well together, trust me. Now what I am going to do is I'm going to turn the heat off because I'm going to add the cream cheese. And what I don't want is for the pan to be too hot when I add it, okay? We want it to sort of cool a little bit. Some lemon juice. Yum. All right, so that's gone in. As I've said, I've removed it from the heat. This is simple Philadelphia cheese, Philly cheese, okay? And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to get a little bit of pasta water to melt the cheese. I just want to work it in and make the sauce creamy, right? Without it going too, I don't want to sort of curdle that cheese or make it separate from the rest of the sauce. So by reducing the heat and just adding the warm pasta water helps it amalgamate, yeah? Look at that. See how it's nice and creamy? And it's all amalgamated nicely. It's not separated from the lemon juice. So it will cook a little more because I am going to add the pasta straight to the pan, all right? Now I add the salmon. I'm just going to add all of that salmon in. I'm going to add a bit more pasta water to make it a bit more saucy. This is all without the heat being on, so I've got complete control of it here. Just don't want it too hot. I'm going to kick the heat back on a little when I stick the pasta in. Alrighty. Look, I know it doesn't look the prettiest of things right now, but you just wait. Let's see how that pasta's going. Crikey Moses, that's ready. Just as my timer went off. That tubular spaghetti. In it goes. This is just another quick midnight. Oh, you could have it at midnight. Midweek meal. Stir that through so our sauce coats the pasta. I'm just going to put the heat back on for a bit now. Warm it through. We don't want it to be cold. If I had some, I would add dill, definitely at this point, because dill is yum-o with salmon. If you're feeling a bit fancy, you can do this also with salmon fillets. Cook the fillets and just flake them in. That would be a fancy version. These are so wilty because I got them from my garden. And, of course, a bit of pepper. Finish it off. And if you were so inclined, you could shave some cheese on the top. Although the purists say you don't need much cheese with a seafoody pasta, but I beg to differ. Here we go. How quick was that?
It was literally like 10 minutes.
The time it took for the pasta to cook. Okay, here we go. Woo, look at it. Tinned salmon and tinned tuna, underrated. In this sort of situation, a bloody delish. Yum. Those flavours, that lemon juice and the salmon and the capers, actually, and all of it, it's yum. Buon appetito.